we are going to use one of the most misunderstood tools in Illustrator in order to produce some incredible nuanced results for our custom symbols. Now, with the black arrow, if we click on any one of these lines, you see that we have an instance. We need to break the link, and then with our grouped object selected, we need to ungroup twice. Shift-Command-G, 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 twice. Now if we click on one of these, we just get a single element. And that means it's no longer grouped. These are all independent elements. So we're going to hit Command-A to select everything. Then, right here, the Width tool is right here in the Tools panel. And if you click and hold, come down to the Warp tool. And the Warp tool and the Twirl tool, well, let's come down to the Twirl tool. These, typically, what people do is click and hold, and you get that kind of stuff. And kids go, oh, wow. No. Let's double-click on this in order to set this, the width, to 1,000. Remember, we have a 1,000 by 1,000 pixel document. 1,000 pixels is as large as this brush gets. Let's set the angle to 10 degrees, the intensity to 20%, and we'll leave the twirl rate as it is, these default settings, and show brush size on. Let's click OK, and then come out here, position our cursor so it says intersect. Don't click and hold. Click and release quickly. Boom. That is the result of a single click. Now, isn't that, if I hit Command-Z to undo, isn't that different? Shift-Command-Z redoes. Now, if we get the black arrow and drag this over, and we have this one is our Sunburst 02. So let's call this, or Starburst 02B. So it's a variation on that theme. We'll click OK. Then we can come out here with that same tool. Let's come here. Come out here to the very center. Oh, this is a symbol. So we need to break the link to the symbol. Shift-Command-G 2 times. They're all still selected. If you want to be sure, go ahead and click on the black arrow. Click away to deselect. Click on one of them, and you can see they're all deselected. Command-A to select them all. Get your Twirl tool one more time. Come out right to the center, right where it says intersect. Click and let go. Boom. And you can see how different this is. Hit the letter V to get the Move tool. Click this up. Click and drag. And we can call this Starburst 02C. And you can see that we're starting to make variations on a theme. Now we can keep doing this. We can produce other elements. I want you to work with other elements. And when you double click on this, maybe the 20% is too high. Maybe the 40% is too high. You can change these settings. These are not magic settings. The 1,000 by 1,000 are important because that's the size of our custom document. Okay? That's how we made this. The idea is that you should be able to create 30, 40, 50 different custom rotating symbols that are all unique, that can all be used in different ways. And I'll tell you, there are an amazing number of things you can do with these elements, these custom symbols. Spend some time, practice, learn how to use the Rotate tool, learn how to use not only the Width tool, but play not just with lines, with different shapes. What happens if you have a series of circles here? I'm going to show you so many different ways to use these tools that you will be able to create libraries of hundreds and hundreds of symbols that others can use to create wonderful effects. But none of this happens if you don't learn the basics. Practice, 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 and continue to work. Don't just say, okay, I get this and I'll move on to the next one. How many symbols do you have? Do you have at least 20 or 30? Come on, put in a little work. This is epic. And like I said, double click, change the settings. Leave the 1000 by 1000 because we need to cover this entire area. But everything else, play around with it. What happens if you change things? You'll never know if you don't try.